So in this video, we will cover three topics. How do you create an awesome story? How do you create a compelling vision? And what Ramayana teaches us about how to inspire people. And as you can probably guess, these three questions are connected. So let's start with how do you inspire people? Now we know we need to inspire people. We need to inspire people to create a great venture. What inspires people? Is it money? Is it benefits? Is it a cool work environment? Is it reasons? Now we know that those things are important, but they don't inspire, right? We can learn something from sports because most people involved in sports don't make any money at all. They play under really hard conditions, right? But still they're really passionate about it. They're really inspired by it. So we know it's not about the money or the benefits or the comfort. And there is a reason for this, because all the points we talked about earlier, the money, the benefits, the reasons, they all appeal to the logical part of the mind, the brain. Whereas passion or inspiration comes from the emotional part of the mind, the heart. So you can't really convince the heart with reasons which are meant for the brain. So how do you convince the heart? So there's good news and bad news. The bad news is that we don't have a recipe for this. So for example, we have a lot of science or a lot of understanding on how to create incentive plans for employees, but there is no recipe for how do you inspire people. But the good news is that we have some clues. So we know these terms about passion, purpose, vision, right? Except these are very fuzzy terms, right? Most of us, I used to really think, I don't even know why it's done, right? Well, let's go a little deeper and understand what these are. And there is a very important difference, subtle difference between these three terms: vision, passion, and purpose. So vision is the end state, is the destination that you are building, right? What are you trying to create? Purpose is the positive change in the world which will come as a result of implementing that vision, right? So passion comes from the journey. Passion comes from the struggles, the achievement, right? The ups and downs of getting there. If something was easy, there wouldn't be any passion in it, right? So, and we see this all around, right? If there was a sports game, and for example, I always think about the cricket match at Lord's, where we all remember that image of Ganguly waving his T-shirt around. So that was the purpose, right? The raving fans, the excitement, and a lot of people still fondly remember that match, right? The vision was to win it, of course, and India won that match. But the passion really came from the struggle. The passion came from snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, right? It was almost a hopeless situation, and then a few members of the team rallied and made the impossible happen, and that's what really makes that story awesome. So how do we apply that to our venture? I'll get to that in a minute. But let's look at how vision, purpose, and passion are implemented in Ramayana. So what Ramayana teaches us about how to inspire people using vision, purpose, and passion. So vision in Ramayana is Ram Rajya, right? Ram Rajya, which enforces dharma. The purpose is peace, prosperity, freedom, triumph over evil, so that everybody has a good life, right? That's the purpose of that that vision of Ram Rajya, right? But the passion comes, what makes Ramayana so great is not just that it had a great vision and a great purpose, but it was the great story which was about all the challenges that Ram had to overcome, including all the hardships, including winning over so much unfairness, winning over such demons, including Ravan at the end, right? The struggle and the sacrifice is what creates the great story, the passion, right? And when you combine all three, the vision, purpose, and passion, is when you get an awesome story. So how do you get that in your venture? So let's take an example. So I'm going to use the same example where, let's say the thesis is you want to use blockchain to create traceability of food from farm to fork, right? So how would that story work? You'd say, well, we all have a challenge. We all have a challenge. We don't know where our food comes from, right? We don't know how it's been handled, what is the quality, how old is it, right? And not only we, but the farmers suffer because there is no incentive, there is no difference between somebody producing good quality and somebody not producing good quality. And therefore, they get stuck in they don't get just rewards for their hard work, which means their lives are stuck. Now, there is a big problem out there. Right? So, what we're going to do is solve this problem. We are going to use blockchain to create traceability of food from farm to fork, which will create the right incentives and the right quality, confidence in quality. So, right incentives for producers and the right quality and confidence for consumers. That's our vision. However, it's something which is, there's a lot of challenges we have. So, for example, to make this happen, we would have to blockchain enable the whole supply chain, right? We are working with participants who are not well educated and don't have any access to good technology. We'll have to overcome all these hurdles to make sure that they are enabled. So first of all, we have to implement the technology everywhere. We have to educate and enable the participants, but then we also have to educate them and inspire them so that they understand the long-term benefits of those of participating in this. Right? Now, once we do that and we create this traceability, we will. So consumers like you and me, we will be able to get higher quality food. Right? We will have confidence in our food. We will know where it comes from. We will be able to get what we pay for, and we will be willing to pay more, and that will not only produce higher quality, it will reward and it will create an impact on the lives of those farmers who work harder, who are more enterprising. It'll create more enterprising farmers, and that way we will uplift all of society. If we take inspiration from Ramayana, we can create a very compelling, awesome story. What story will you create?